Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time because this episode is about free speech. You are watching this video on YouTube, which is owned by Google, which is one of the three big tech giants in the world. In fact, the three CEOs of the three big tech companies, Google, the CEO of Google is Mr. Sundar Pichai. How are you, Mr. Pichai? The second CEO is Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook. What's up, Mr. Zuckerberg? And the third CEO is Jack Dorsey from Twitter. Hello, Mr. Dorsey. These three CEOs are actually being questioned today by lawmakers, and federal lawmakers are questioning these three CEOs about Section 230, which essentially protects social media companies from lawsuits related to third-party content on their website. And I'll show you a quick interview with a Republican senator, Senator Wicker, and Senator Roger Wicker is a Republican senator from Mississippi. And he said that there's concern from both the right and the left. There's concern from both Democrats as well as Republicans about the amount of power that these social media companies have. And he said they control the flow of information. And he said they have a special liability protection that other journalists and that the press does not have. Some pretty powerful comments from Senator Wicker. And I want you to watch this entire video all the way through to the end, because I'll also be showing you what Jack Dorsey from Twitter, what the CEO of Twitter said about this. These guys are actually being questioned today. So, again, there you have it. Sundar Pichai from Google, which owns YouTube, and you're on YouTube right now. Jack Dorsey from Twitter, and also Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. So these three guys are being interviewed today, being questioned, I should say, by lawmakers. But first, let's watch what Senator Wicker had to say about the concerns that both sides have about the flow of information. Keep in mind that Republicans are concerned that some of these outlets, specifically Twitter, and by the way, Senator Ted Cruz called Twitter the most egregious of the three. I'll show you Senator Ted Cruz questioning Jack Dorsey, and boy, was that full of fire. I'll be showing you that in the next video on our channel. But Senator Ted Cruz said that Twitter was the most egregious amongst all three. So Republicans feel that their free speech is being stifled on these platforms, specifically Twitter. And Democrats probably feel that not enough is being done to take down incorrect or factually wrong information. So these social media companies are actually in a pretty tough spot right now. Let's roll the tape and see what Senator Wicker had to say.
We are focused on big tech this morning because the CEOs of Facebook, Twitter, and Google will appear before federal lawmakers later today for a hearing on Section 230 of the 1996 Communications Decency Act. This Section 230 protects these social media companies from lawsuits. They've got no liability for third-party posts on their platforms. Joining me right now is Mississippi Senator, Commerce Committee Chairman for today's hearing, Roger Wicker. Senator, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Can you lay out what we're going to see today and tell us what you're expecting from these CEOs?
Maria, there is concern on the right and the left about the power of these big tech companies. And who we're going to have today as witnesses, the CEOs of Google, Twitter, and Facebook are among the most powerful people in the country, if not the most powerful people on the planet. If you control the flow of news, if you control the flow of information, you are indeed powerful. And so I think there are concerns from Republicans and Democrats about the power of these big tech companies and the fact that they have a special liability protection that you don't have as a journalist, and the press doesn't have, but they have a special protection under the Communications Decency Act, which you pointed out, Section 230. And so I think we'll be asking questions about that.
Boy, some pretty interesting comments from Senator Wicker. Now let's take a look at Jack Dorsey. By the way, when I look at Jack Dorsey, he reminds me of kind of this hippie vibe from California, kind of like a whole funky, cool, potentially pot-smoking California vibe, just the kind of guy that you would, see on this, I guess hanging around in California going, so that was, that's what comes to my mind when I see Jack Dorsey. But all jokes aside, let's actually listen to Jack Dorsey. There he is. Hey, Jack, what's up? So this is what Dorsey said, the CEO of Twitter. He said that Section 230 is the most important law protecting internet speech. And he said Section 230 gives two important tools. Number one, immunity from liability from users' content, because basically Twitter is saying, hey, it's, we can't control what people put up on our platform. And he said immunity, and he said good Samaritan protection for content moderation. And he said he wanted to focus on the problem, by identifying people who are not acting in good faith. And he said that he had three solutions for this problem. He said, number one, a services moderation process to be published so that, anybody could check out that process. Number two, a straightforward process to appeal decisions made by humans or the algorithm. Because, if humans make the decision, then there's going to be some subjectivity into it, right? Because, we human beings, we have our own opinions about the kind of content that should and should not be allowed. And, that's fair because we're all humans and we all have a difference of opinion. And he said that there should be best efforts around algorithmic choice. So that was interesting. And he said that large companies should not be entrenched. Let's watch what Jack Dorsey had to say in his introduction to these lawmakers today. Let's roll the tape.
Thank you, members of the Commerce Committee, for the opportunity to speak with the American people about Twitter and Section 230. My remarks will be brief so we can get to questions. Section 230 is the most important law protecting internet speech, and removing Section 230 will remove speech from the internet. Section 230 gave internet services two important tools. The first provides immunity from liability for users' content. The second provides good Samaritan protections for content moderation and removal, even of constitutionally protected speech, as long as it's done in good faith. That concept of good faith is what's being challenged by many of you today. Some of you don't trust we're acting in good faith. That's the problem I want to focus on solving. How do services like Twitter earn your trust? How do we ensure more choice in the market if we don't? There are three solutions we'd like to propose to address the concerns raised, all focused on services that decide to moderate or remove content. They could be expansions to Section 230, new legislative frameworks, or a commitment to industry-wide self-regulation best practices. The first is requiring a services moderation process to be published. How are cases reported and reviewed? How are decisions made? What tools are used to enforce? Publishing answers to questions like these will make our process more robust and accountable to the people we serve. The second is requiring a straightforward process to appeal decisions made by humans or by algorithms. This ensures people can let us know when we don't get it right, so that we can fix any mistakes and make our processes better in the future. And finally, much of the content people see today is determined by algorithms, with very little visibility into how they choose what they show. We took a first step in making this more transparent by building a button to turn off our home timeline algorithms. It's a good start, but we're inspired by the market approach suggested by Dr. Stephen Wolfram before this committee in June 2019. Enabling people to choose algorithms created by third parties to rank and filter their content is an incredibly energizing idea that's in reach. Requiring one, moderation process and practices to be published, two, a straightforward process to appeal decisions, and three, best efforts around algorithmic choice are suggestions to address the concerns we all have going forward. And they're all achievable in short order. It's critical as we consider these solutions, we optimize for new startups and independent developers. Doing so ensures a level playing field that increases the probability of competing ideas to help solve problems. We mustn't entrench the largest companies any further. Thank you for the time, and I look forward to a productive discussion to dig into these and other ideas.
So that's it, everybody. Comments from Jack Dorsey. California, California. I love California. And that look, he has an interesting look. Let's put it that way. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that social media companies like Twitter should indeed be regulated? Do you think that some of their protections should be stripped away? Because if that does indeed happen, we could see a fundamental shift in how these social media companies operate and how we engage with them. Keep in mind that the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, was also questioned by federal lawmakers today, as well as the CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. They were also questioned. But in the next video, I'll show you a pretty contentious exchange between Senator Ted Cruz and Jack Dorsey that I think is going to surprise you. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please comment below and let me know what you think of this entire discussion. Do you think social media companies like Twitter should see some of their protections taken away because of the kind of content moderation that they're doing? Or do you think that their content moderation guidelines should be made public, should be transparent? The truth is, whenever humans are involved in a decision-making process, there is going to be some subjectivity. If this was all done by a computer algorithm, then things could be a little bit simpler, but then again not, because, hey, who wrote the algorithm? Was it somebody who was leaning right? Was it somebody who was leaning left? So those are the difficult questions that are in front of lawmakers, and those are the challenging questions that these tech CEOs, Mr. Pichai, Mr. Zuckerberg, and Mr. Dorsey have to face. Definitely check out the next video where we dig deeper into what Senator Ted Cruz said to Jack Dorsey. I think it's going to surprise you. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you being a viewer and a subscriber. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you can get added to our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And also please follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also the same, ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Now keep in mind, YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. So all you have to do, the solution is very simple. Simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition_time on your browser. Bookmark youtube.com/ignition_time on your browser, and you'll be able to visit the homepage of our channel and watch the videos at any point in time that you want. I really appreciate you watching. Your vote of confidence in us and the entire team behind the scenes at Ignition Time is you simply clicking the like button, you igniting the subscribe button, and you igniting that notification button, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Please participate in our community below. Our community is growing very rapidly. We are all very proud of our community, which is now like our family, and we are building a big community, and I invite you to be a part of that community. As always, you'll find the link in the description section below to all our resources, all our references, so you can check them out for yourself. And finally, please share this video with friends and family members so you can help us spread the word and we can pass on this knowledge, because our goal is to provide you with transparent information and let you be the decision maker. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.